Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am Dr. Zawar Hussain, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Division of Science and Technology, University of Education, Lahore. In this lecture, you will learn about population growth, two types of population growth, exponential growth and logistic growth, different factors involved in growth of population, and the growth curves relevant to these population growth. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am Dr. Zawar Hussain, Assistant Professor of Zoology in Division of Science and Technology, University of Education, Lahore. This is the second lecture regarding the topic of population growth. In this lecture, you will learn about different phases of logistic model of growth, types of population change and survival curves. As we have discussed in the previous lecture about logistic model of growth and logistic growth curve, now we will discuss about different phases of logistic growth curve. There are three phases of logistic growth curve. The first one is the lag phase, which is the initial growth phase. In this little initial phase of logistic growth, there is not enough population growth and the number increases very slowly. Then the second phase is the exponential phase, which is a rapid growth phase in which the population will grow exponentially. Then there is the third one, which is the stable phase, which stabilizes the factors limiting growth. These factors will limit the growth rate and it finally stabilize at a specific point, which is the carrying capacity of that environment. In logistic population growth model, the per capita rate of increase declines as carrying capacity is reached. The logistic growth rate is described as dn over dt is equal to r n k minus n over k, where dn over dt is the increase of number of individuals per unit time and r max is the maximum reproductive rate, n is the initial number of population and k is the carrying capacity of that environment. An example of logistic growth curve is the growth of laboratory population of Paramecium, which fits exactly as S-shaped curve. In the diagram you will see that on the right side the Paramecium increases at a very slight rate initially, which is the initial phase. Then there is an exponential phase when the reproduction of Paramecium is maximum, and then it stabilizes as it reaches the carrying capacity of that laboratory conditions. In different conditions, some population overshoot K, that they increase their population above the carrying capacity of that environment before settling down to a relatively stable density. On the other hand, some populations fluctuate greatly around K, they don't exceed their limit of carrying capacity of that environment. The equation of logistic growth suggests that the population functions as a system and is regulated by positive and negative feedback. It means that there are some factors which support the population growth and there are other factors which reduces the potential of population growth. In different phases of logistic model of growth, growth is stimulated by positive feedback, then slowed down by negative feedback of competition as the population increases from their number n to k, which is the carrying capacity. It means that the population growth is stimulated at first and it increases at quite rapid rate, and after reaching k the negative feedback mechanism control the growth of the population and it stabilizes at the point of k, or it fluctuates around k of that environment which is the carrying capacity of that specific conditions. In other conditions, when the adjustment lack the available resources may affect the population to overshoot that it can increase above the carrying capacity of that environment. So this overshoot the equilibrium, then population decreases at that point. The increase in population is due to the available resources, and after it overshoot, the equilibrium is then shifted towards the decrease of the population growth. After the equilibrium is shifted towards the decrease in population growth, its recovery is determined by reproductive rate and the recovery of the resources, especially the food supply. If the resources are renewed and food supply is enough, the population will recover from that decreased population growth, and again the increasing trend is achieved. But during that, some factors build a time lag into the population recovery. This time lag may be a reaction time lag or a reproductive time lag. Reaction time lag W is a lag between the environmental change and corresponding change in the rate of population growth. On the other hand, reproductive time lag is the lag between the environmental change and the change in the length of gestation period, so that the population may recover from its decreasing trends. There are different types of population change. Some of them are discussed. There is a type called stable. The stable is the population that fluctuates slightly above and below its carrying capacity, that don't have any abrupt changes. Example of stable population is characteristic of undisturbed rainforests which fluctuate around its carrying capacity limits. The reason is that these resources don't fluctuate enough to disturb the population. The second type is eruptive population, which is short-lived rapidly reproducing species, fluctuate rapidly and are linked to seasonal changes in weather or nutrient availabilities. This type of population change occur where the resources and the environmental conditions change abruptly and there is much time to retain its population growth. Such species reproduce rapidly when the environmental conditions and the nutrients are available. The example of such population change is algal bloom, which occur on the availability of resources and suitable temperatures. This is a graph of logistic growth in sheep population from years 1800 to 1925. Here you can see that on the y-axis the number of individuals of sheep in millions is given, and on the x-axis the years from 1800 to 1925. Here you can see that in early years of 1800 the population of sheep grows rapidly, and in at 1825 and near 1850 the population overshoots and it reaches the carrying capacity, and even it increases over the population over that carrying capacity limit, and population overshoots that number. After that the population decreases. There is the population run out of resources and it decreases down the carrying capacity. After that the population fluctuate around the carrying capacity of that environmental conditions and available resources. In this figure you can see that a graph is drawn about the population of reindeers in years 1900 to 1950. Here you can see that the population carrying capacity is very low, but due to certain environmental conditions which suit the population growth, the population of reindeer increased rapidly around 1930s to 1940s. In these years the population overshoots and it is quite high in numbers above the carrying capacity of that environment, but after its overshoot it crashes down and comes very rapidly down to the carrying capacity and even below the carrying capacity of that environment. Now we will see the logistic model of population growth and its effects on life histories. The life history traits favored by the natural selection may vary with population density and environmental conditions. There are two types of selection. It is either the K selection, that is the carrying capacity, and the R selection of which is independent of the density. There are two types of selection which relate to the life history. The first type is the K selection or density dependent selection. In this type, the organism live and reproduce around the carrying capacity and selects for life history traits that are sensitive to population density, as it is a density dependent selection. Then there is R selection or density independent selection, where the population fluctuate quite below the carrying capacity, so there is no problem of the density in this case. That is why this is called the density independent selection. Organisms exhibits high rate of reproduction in this type and occur in variable environment in which the population density fluctuate well below K, so there is no issue of any density related problems. Now we will discuss some characteristics of species which are selected by the density dependent events. These are K selected species. Such species that follow this pattern are usually larger organisms, for example elephants. These species have long lifespans, produce few offspring that have a better chance of living to a reproductive age. They have high parental care and protection of offspring. Later reproductive age, that means their slow maturity and they reach their reproductive age slowly as compared to other species. K selected species are adapted to stable climate and environmental conditions. They have lower population growth rates. Population size of K selected species are fairly stable and usually close to the carrying capacity. They have high ability to compete, controlled by density dependent factors such as disease, competition, predators, parasites, food, and crowding. All these factors are density dependent factors and they control the population growth rate. The K selected species are also called K strategists for carrying capacity and their ability to fluctuate their population around the carrying capacity. Then there are other species which are not controlled by the density dependent events. These are R selected species which are independent of density dependent factors. The species that follow this pattern are usually have a boom and bust life cycle. During boom, their population increase rapidly and reaches an overshoot condition, and after that it decline rapidly and cause the burst of life cycle. They have short lifespans, reaches sexual maturity rapidly, produce many offspring, and small organisms are usually are selected species such as fruit flies, mice, locusts. Their population fluctuate below carrying capacity at most of the time, except at the boom time when the resources and environmental conditions are suitable for a rapid growth rate. As they are below carrying capacity, so the density dependent factors does not affect the population growth. The R selected species don't maintain a population near carrying capacity, therefore these are poor competitors. They have a low investment in care of the young ones. This low investment is due to high reproductive rate of these individuals. The R-selected species are controlled by density-independent factors such as volcanic eruptions, temperature, storms, floods, drought, and chemical pesticides. These are also called R strategists. This is a typical graph of a R-selected species population growth. On the y-axis, the population increase is shown, and on the x-axis is the time. So you can see that a rapid increase in population growth at first, which is the boom of the population due to the availability of nutrients and suitable environmental conditions. After increasing at a level above carrying capacity, the burst occurs and population decrease rapidly due to unfavorable conditions or any natural calamity. Survivorship curves is the data related to the survival of individuals of different ages in a population, and it is represented graphically. A survivorship curve is a graphic way of representing the data in a life table. Survivorship curves plot the proportion of the individuals alive at each age. There are three types of survivorship curves: the type 1 survivorship curve, type 2 and type 3, according to the survival of individuals at different age groups. The first one is the type 1 curve or late loss, mean the mortality of individuals at older ages. This type of curve is shown with low death rate early in the life, such as humans. These are case strategists that produce few young and care them until they reach reproductive age. This high parental care and protection of the individual reduce the juvenile mortality of this type of survivorship curves. Then there are animals with type 2 curve or constant loss. In these animal populations show a constant mortality. There are typically intermediate reproductive strategies in these animals with fairly constant mortality rate throughout all age classes. The last one is the type 3 curve or early loss. This type of animal populations show a high death rate early in life, such as oyster. There are strategists with many offsprings, high infant mortality, and high survivorship once a certain size and age. Due to low parental care and protection of infants, the mortality rate in early age is very high, and as the size and age of the individual increases, the mortality rate decreases along this size and age groups. Three types of survivorship curves are shown in this figure. Here you can see on the y-axis is the percentage of survivors, and on the x-axis is the percentage of maximum lifespan. Here you can see the type 1 curve. The example is human beings, where the early loss is very low and mortality is high at the older ages, which is the late loss. And then the type 2 with constant mortality rate and constantly loss. The squirrel is the example of type 2 survivorship curve. Then there is an early loss, and the R strategist of example is oyster with high mortality rate at early ages, and as the size and age of the individual increases, the mortality is low. The type 3 survivorship curve is exactly opposite to the type 1. So that's all about today's lecture about different phases of logistic growth. types of population changes and survivorship curves. Thank you for joining this lecture.